Welcome back. If you like games that twist your brain, then this next title may be of interest to you. It's Shanghai Second Dynasty, and here's the review. Activision Shanghai Second Dynasty is the second helping of its 3-year-old predecessor, Shanghai Dynasty. And though it has a few new tile sets, a number of new layouts, and some new game modes, it probably won't seem like much of a value to those who already own Shanghai Dynasty. But for those not yet familiar with the Shanghai PC game series, Second Dynasty's colorful graphics, soothing music, and encompassing array of both Mahjong and Shanghai variants are reason enough to recommend it to enthusiasts of either or both tile-based games. Second Dynasty includes 2 main sets of games, the age-old Chinese tile game Mahjong, and the equally venerable tile-matching game played with Mahjong tiles, Shanghai. Second Dynasty offers a number of variations on each game, and every single one of the previous game's modes of play, including classic, arcade, and kids Shanghai. Those who don't own the previous game should find that Second Dynasty is worth putting in your puzzle library. Andrew Seyoon Park of Gamespot.com gives Shanghai Second Dynasty a 7.1 out of 10. Now, Tomba was a surprise hit of 1998 with its 2D platform gameplay in an increasingly 3D world. Well, the game is back. It's a little less 2D, but it still has pigs. Tomba 2 is pretty much the same game as before, but this time it sports more quests and a spiffy new 3D engine. Once again, the pigs are back, and this time they've kidnapped Tomba's childhood friend. So Tomba's there to stop them with his curious technique of fighting pigs while solving a panoply of puzzles and performing numerous fetch quests along the way. The game is once again an unusual hybrid of the platform and adventure genres. Along with bagging pigs, there's 137 quests to perform. While moving through the game world, Tomba can talk to characters and perform curious tasks. While the perspective to the game is less 2D, the game still controls like a 2D game. Tomba moves along a 2D path until he is prompted to switch to a new path when it intersects. On the whole, the camera and perspective are excellent, but there are the inevitable moments when jumps are made harder than they should be. The game does have a few minor problems. Some of the less necessary puzzles are downright difficult, and the number of quests you can run into in a short time can feel overwhelming. The graphics in the game are some of the best for the PlayStation right now, making the game feel like a 3D animated cartoon. The camera pans smoothly, and there are few signs of typical 3D issues. Tomba 2 may be repackaging of the original game, but it's a slick and refined job. Fans of the original are in for a treat. Peter Bartholow of VideoGames.com gives it an 8.4 out of 10. What exactly does he do to those pigs? Well, you probably heard us here at GameSpot TV wax poetic about Shenmue, and it doesn't look like we're going to be stopping anytime soon. We got our hands on an import copy of the first chapter of the game, and of course I couldn't understand a thing, but it sure looked good. Long seen as a standout game for the Dreamcast since the beginning, Shenmue's first chapter has finally made it into the hands of Japanese Dreamcast owners, allowing us another look at this title. The game begins on November 26, 1986, with Ryo Hazuki's father being murdered by an evil and powerful martial artist who also lifts a mysterious jade medallion. Ryo then leaves his high school existence for revenge against the assailant and slowly uncovers a vast international conspiracy. As you have probably heard, the official genre for Shenmue is free, standing for Full Reactive Eyes Entertainment, something we all can call an adventure game. You guide Ryo through his hometown of Yozuka, solve puzzles, and probe the populace for information. The environments themselves in the game are virtually like games in themselves, as they offer endless drawers to open, trinkets to buy, and things to play with. The game also has action sequences called QuickTime Events, which are reminiscent of Dragon's Lair by testing your reflexes when prompting you to tap a button. The game is designed to be very accessible and hasn't been found to be all that difficult. If you fail to succeed in a battle, there are an unlimited number of retries available. Even if you know how much money it costs to produce this game, you can't help but be impressed with its production value. It's hard to imagine many other games looking this good. The world is massively detailed and seamlessly integrated with very delicate modeling and texture everywhere. The sound is equally as impressive, both with the musical soundtrack and the fact that everything in the game has a unique sound associated with it. The game is set to arrive in the US this year, and it's recommended that players wait for the domestic version unless they have a good handle on Japanese. Some who have tried it bemoan the absence of Chapter 2, but regardless, a technological marvel is on its way to the Dreamcast. If you'd like to revisit Ryo's adventures in the Kanagawa province, come to the Gamespot TV website where you'll find the streaming video of Shenmue. And while you're at our site, stop by the Gamespot TV message boards and discuss your thoughts about this upcoming game. Coming up on Gamespot TV, we have the preview of Square's Chrono Croft. The long-awaited follow-up to Chrono Trigger is sure not to disappoint fans and newbies alike. Plus, we grind a few rails with cheat codes for the excellent skateboarding title, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.